and welcome to Baking with Nadia. Today we're going to be decorating a quarter sheet cake, and this quarter sheet cake is a white cake with fresh whipping cream and strawberries inside. First, you are going to make the cake, and please refer to my channel and my website on how to make the cake. The website has step-by-step details on how to make the cake, so please go to www.bakingwithnadia.com. And some of the equipment that we'll be using to make this quarter sheet cake are a quarter sheet cardboard with a doily paper on top. We're going to be using some spatulas, and we're going to be using a pastry brush and pastry bag and pastry tips. We're going to use a little sifter or strainer and also a knife. Those are our equipment, and let's go ahead and begin. We're going to go ahead and start by preparing our cardboard and doily paper, and you can buy these at a baking goods store or Michael's or Walmart or Target. They may carry it also. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our sugar water and just dab a little bit on here, just like that. This will aid in sticking our doily paper to the cardboard, and you just want to center it and get it centered just about like that, and then just brush it down. And then the next thing we're going to do is our cake. So we've made a half sheet cake, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our tape measure. Now you can take a tape measure or a ruler and measure it, and it's about 16.5 inches. And we want to cut it straight in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and cut now the half sheet into a quarter sheet cake, and I've measured and I've marked with my tape measure. You can do it with a ruler too. So I get it straight like that. And I'm going to cut the sides just a little bit also to make it fit into on my cardboard. So I've gone ahead and taken a little bit off the sides also. So we're cutting each side of the cake, and this is why we're cutting it, is so when we're decorating, there's enough room on the sides of the cake for the decoration part of the whipped cream. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut this half sheet into a quarter sheet cake, and I've taken about 3/4 off the edge to make it fit on my cardboard and to have room for decoration when I decorate it with fresh whipping cream. And this is going to be a 3-layered cake. So now we're going to go ahead and put the sugar water and the whipped cream and strawberries inside. Okay, now I've gone ahead and cut some parchment paper that we're going to just slip right underneath the cake. And we do this so as I put the sugar water on the cake and I decorate it with whipped cream, it doesn't get my doily paper wet and dirty with whipping cream or sugar water. So this protects our cardboard and our doily paper to stay nice and clean. And then we will remove this at the end. Now we're going to put some sugar water on our cake, and this is going to give us some moisture to the cake and a little bit of sweetness, since I don't use a whole lot of sugar in the cake itself. So you just dab it on with your pastry brush. Okay, this is our fresh whipping cream that we've already made, and please refer to my channel and my website on how to make fresh whipping cream. Again, the website is www.bakingwithnadia.com. and that'll give you some detailed information on how to make the fresh whipping cream. And always put your fresh whipping cream inside the fridge when you're not using it. Because fresh whipping cream tends to melt easily, so we always want to keep it in the refrigerator nice and cold. Now I'm just using a pastry bag to lay out the whipping cream, and you just apply a small amount of pressure and allow it to come out. I've gone ahead and cut up slices of strawberries ahead of time, and this is about 2 pounds of strawberries, and then we're just going to go ahead and lay them on our whipping cream like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some powdered sugar to these strawberries. If your strawberries are sweet, you don't need to do that, but I feel that these need a little bit of powdered sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and add that just with a little sifter or strainer. Okay, so I'm going to just put a thin layer of whipping cream on top of the strawberries. Okay, we're going to take our next layer of cake and just gently put it right on top of the whipped cream with strawberries and get it nicely centered. And once it's nicely centered in the right position, you can gently press down. And just with my small spatula, just clean the edges like that. And now we're going to go ahead and put our second layer of sugar water on top of the cake. Now we're going to put our second layer of whipping cream on top of the cake with the sugar water. Now you can use a spatula to apply the whipping cream. I like to use a pastry bag. I feel like it's more even and easier, but whatever works for you. Okay, and this is our second layer of strawberries. I'm going to add a little bit of the powdered sugar again on top of the strawberries because I feel like they're not sweet enough. And if you don't want to add any powdered sugar, you don't have to do that either. Okay, now we're going to put a thin layer of fresh whipping cream on top of the strawberries. And that looks good. Now we'll put our final layer on top, but make sure you put your whipped cream in the refrigerator so it doesn't melt on you. Okay. Again, gently put it on and get it centered before you put some pressure on the cake and press down. Okay, just gonna use my spatula to get the sides of the cake. Okay, this is going to be our final layer of fresh whipping cream on top of our quarter sheet cake. We're going to go ahead and now do the sides of the cake, and I always put whipped cream starting from the bottom and work my way up. That way the whipped cream stays on the cake. And your your hands have heat. So while you're grasping onto the pastry bag, that's another way that your whipped cream starts to melt from the heat from your hands. So applying the whipping cream quickly with a pastry bag is always good. And you can always do it with a spatula. You don't have to use the pastry bag. It's all up to you and your preferences. Okay, we're at the final stages of decorating our quarter sheet cake. Now again, this cake has 3 layers in it. 2 layers of fresh whipping cream and strawberries inside, and the top layer of just whipping cream. And we're using a jug of hot water to help smooth out the top and the edges. Now I just dipped my spatula in the hot water, shake it out a little bit, and then we just come to the sides and smooth like this. And the hot water does the trick. It really helps with the smoothing of the edges. Sometimes you may need a little bit of whipped cream to fill in the gaps, and you can go ahead and do that with your spatula or your pastry bag, just like that. And you can do it as many times as you want to get the edges nice and smooth. Okay, we're gonna now go ahead and do the top of the cake. And I'm using this type of spatula. All right, we've smoothed out the cake, and I'm gonna go ahead and decorate the top. I'm gonna use a medium-sized French head that I'll put on here. And this cake that I'm making is for my nephew, and it'll be the perfect size. This is again a quarter sheet cake. If you wanted a larger cake, you can make a half sheet cake. And if you wanted smaller cakes, you can make an 8-inch cake. And we'll go ahead and put a few strawberries on it too. Okay, we're also going to decorate the bottom of the cake, and we're going to use a small French tip. And we'll start with this side right here. Go ahead and decorate this cake with a few strawberries to give a hint that there are strawberries in the cake. And I've gone ahead and I've cut in half a few of the strawberries, and I'm just going to put it on all of the corner. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a little maybe flower pattern in the center of the cake and decorate it like this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and redo the bottom decoration of the cake, because I left the parchment paper on and I started decorating the bottom of the cake. And once that parchment paper gets removed, the whipped cream comes off. So always don't forget to take off your parchment paper first and then decorate the bottom portion of the cake. There we have it, our beautiful quarter sheet cake with 3 layers, 2 layers of fresh whipping cream and strawberries inside, and we've decorated the top with fresh strawberries. It looks absolutely gorgeous and it's going to taste amazing. And please don't forget to go to my website to get the full step-by-step recipe on how to make this beautiful quarter sheet white cake with fresh whipping cream and strawberries. Go to www.bakingwithnadia.com. Thank you and enjoy.